Hey team, hope you're enjoying your week. I'm currently sitting in a hotel in Billings, Montana for the pastors conference they have for the Wesleyan denomination every single year, so it's a lot of fun. But I decided to sneak away and give you guys some information coming up this Sunday in our series, Conquer Your Obstacles. The first thing I wanted to do is actually share a thought from John Maxwell's book, Leadership Gold. It's the book that I'm walking through right now, and it's great for developing leaders, and it's had a lot of great questions that I've been asking myself and really just walking through, okay, what does it mean to be a leader of God's people, to be a leader in this kingdom work? And the thought that he poses this week is sometimes as leaders we focus so much on the growth that God wants to do in our teams and the people on our teams that we forget to focus on the growth that he wants to do in our own lives. And he contends that there can't be growth in our teams until we're willing to walk through the growth in our own lives that God wants to enact. A lot of leaders say it other ways. Another great one is Greg Rochelle says that our capacity becomes our team's capacity, whereas we are capping their ability to grow by our ability to grow. And so am I the type of leader that is willing to grow and is able to focus on that, or am I going to focus my attention elsewhere? So one of the things I've been thinking about this week is, okay, God, what am I supposed to be learning this week? What is the growth and the change that you want to enact in my own life, and just walking through what that means? And I want to ask you guys the same thing. What growth is God wanting to see in your life? So great questions to ask, and I'm excited to actually hear your guys' answers over the next few weeks. But just for the information coming into this week, again, it is Conquer Your Obstacles. This, I believe, is going to be week 2. And I'm very excited. We've had a ton of great response so far the last few weekends. We've actually been averaging 250 plus in both services. We've had some 11 a.m.s that are 300 plus. So a lot of people are starting to come through those doors, and I've just loved watching the interactions, the connections that our team has had with those people. And one of the things we've been talking a lot about, and we're going to continue to, is the pursuit of the people that walk through our doors. We want to be the Father pursuing the Son. We want to be those people pursuing every single guest that comes through our doors. Last week I had this thought, and I don't know how crazy it is, but I had this thought while we were sitting there, and it was this. I'm chasing after people that walk through those doors, but so is Satan. So which one of us is going to run faster to them? And as crazy as that is, I kind of want to have that in the back of our minds, okay? I see somebody walk through the doors. I'm not just going to let them walk through and eventually get to me. I want to chase after them, because you know what? Someone else is chasing after them too. Something else is chasing after them. I want to make sure I get to them first. So I would love to see our teams have that sort of energy and that sort of fire within guest services, and in the parking lot, in the doors, the auditorium, in the Next Steps room, Volunteer Central, everywhere. This idea and this belief that I need to be pursuing them because they're being pursued by something else that we don't want them to fall into. So let's continue to be that Father chasing after the Son. I think the last few weeks we've done a great job of that in every engagement interaction we've been doing. So make sure, one, I want to say thank you guys for just continuing to instill that passion and vision in your teams, and then really walking it out. But then celebrate that with your guys' teams as well, because there's been some great interactions, and it's just been great to see. But we are going to continue this week on the ushers are going to be opening the doors 20 minutes early, just to over-communicate. That way we know without a shadow of a doubt, ushers will be opening the doors at the 20-minute mark. The greeters will be at the doors until the 15-minute mark. Parking lot, parking team will be out there until the 15-minute mark. We've just had a lot of people showing up late, and we love the idea that we get to pursue them even though they're late. It makes a world of difference being able to say, hey, you know what, we're just so happy you're here. It's okay that you're a little late. We're happy you joined us. So we're just going to continue on with that. We are adding some new leaders this week. There's going to be a few of them, so just make sure to introduce yourself, say hi, welcome then to our team. I talked to Sue who leads the coffee shop, and the coffee shop team leaders are actually going to become a part of our coordinator huddles, and they're going to be a part of those meetings. So I'm excited to involve them back into guest services and next steps. And just as we continue to grow as leaders, they are going to be a part of that as well, because their teams are going to be impacted by that as well. Amanda is going to be leading guest services this week, and so she'll be going through the devotional piece. Sean and Anna are going to be leading, giving their testimonies, so I'm very excited to hear those. I personally have loved getting to hear all of your guys' testimonies and stories and just what God has been doing in your life, because that's the most important thing we have, and that's where we're really going to reach people. That's where we're really going to build trust and just build this ability to invest in people's lives. Moving forward, we are having communion next week, March 12th, and then baptism in this week after, March 19th. We already have over 50 people signed up at East and West, which is a lot more than what we had at this point last time. So we're really excited to be a part of that. We are just doing the one day this time instead of the 2 weeks. We're just doing the one weekend. But if you guys want to help be a part of that, if you know people who want to help be a part of that, we're doing it a little bit differently because we want to have more people at the tub being able to celebrate, because it's such an awesome moment in their lives that they are declaring, yes, I accept Jesus as my Lord and I want to walk with him forever. We want to be there to celebrate with them, but then we want them to leave that tub knowing that us as a church is celebrating with them. So we're going to create that atmosphere a little bit. A big thing I know you guys are pumped about is we're going to be making those 696 phone calls starting next week. So I've talked to a few of you, and thank you so much in advance for helping. And then just thank all of you in advance for making some of the phone calls in your teams. But then leading up to Easter, which is now 6 weeks away, the volunteer signups will be up for that. And so we can start, again, just every time we talk to our teams, just be recruiting for them. The last thing I have is the auditorium questions. And that is, what is the largest lake, which is Lake Superior, and what is the largest island, which is Greenland? I thought these were wrong, so I'm kind of excited to hear if other people agree with me that they're wrong and just see how that works. Maybe you guys get into a friendly argument. Might not be the best thing, but you never know. One of the things Jill did tell me is, for auditorium specifically, as you're asking these questions, you're generally talking to the same people every week, because the same people show up late or show up early every single week. Great time to, after a few times of interacting with them through these quizzes, great time to ask them, be like, hey, you know what, you're here early anyway, would love to have you on our team. It is worth an ask, because that's possibly what they're waiting for. So just be asking, be willing to pursue those people, be willing to reach out to them where they are. One final thing I forgot about this, again, just as a pursuit of your own teams, I talked to Christina, and we would love to see you guys in between services, after services, at some point when you and your teams have free time, whether it's a whole team or more one-on-one or a small group. I would love to see you guys take them back to Volunteer Central and share breakfast with them, just as a way to be like, hey, we just served together, and that was great, but would love to get to sit down and have some intentional conversation, even if it's 15, 20 minutes. That's what that's back there for, and I want us as leaders to be initiating that invitation. And so let your teams know, invite them. Say, hey, let's all go get some lunch, or let's all go get some breakfast. It's a great place because it's right there, it's available, it's free. It's the perfect setup for you guys to have intentional time with your team. But that's all I have for you guys today. I love you. I'll see you soon. Billings is awesome. It's really windy. But we'll talk to you on Sunday.